Scorpio, it's October 2019, Dadhichi here from astrology.com.au. It's great to have your company again. A lot of soul searching going on this month, as you notice the large number of planets here converging on this 12th house of the horoscope. And that new moon took place here just before the month commenced. And the 12th house is all about soul searching, really, just going deep into yourself and understanding things a lot more. A few little punctuations in the transits here. Moon and Jupiter around the 3rd and 4th, the 2nd house. Jupiter should be bringing some better results financially, but I'm not finding that panning out a lot with everyone who happens to be born under Scorpio. And that's why I say to people, we can get a general view of what's going on here, but not necessarily specifics. That has to be done from the time of birth. 3rd house moon here is the communication, all messed up here with Saturn and Pluto. Your communication right now may not be great. You may not even want to communicate with others. This 12th house conjunction of several planets can really bring you more into a sort of what's the expression I'm looking for? Just sort of like, I don't want to deal with anyone. But that can change a little bit here. You notice just in the beginning of the 2nd week of the month, this Mercury-Venus combination is very nice in your sun sign. That is always highly recommended for, winning over people, even though you don't want to deal with them. And that could happen rather suddenly, left of field. That's often the case. We know that Uranus here in your 7th house is going to be activated by the opposition of these planets. 5th house lunar combination after transiting your 4th house here around the 10th and 11th makes you very idealistic. Neptune there is showing that you've got a great deal of idealism as far as your creativity is concerned, but you need to be real about that too. I've seen those people who dream of being world famous guitarists or artists talking about it and dreaming about it, but never actually getting down and practicing it. So practice is the name of the game, especially between the 13th and the 15th as the moon transits this area. And then relationships, which can be subjected to some rather unusual twists and turns here emotionally. You could feel a little on edge, your nerves could be frayed, and it could well be that you're exasperated by your partner or someone that you're in close relationship with throughout that period of 15, 16. The 18th and the 19th finds the moon transiting this area of your horoscope, the 8th house, which you're pretty comfortable with. Scorpio naturally rules that 8th house. The wastefulness of the opposition to Jupiter is more of an emotional waste there in the 8th house of intimacy. Often you don't need to talk about your feelings. If you're getting into that trap of talking and talking and talking, then often that can exacerbate the situation even more. So you need to use gestures and maybe sit back and listen a little bit more if you've got some problem in your relationships this month. Intense transit of the moon opposite Saturn and Pluto can make it difficult for you to find anyone that's sympathetic to your philosophical views right now. Again, that's from the moon transiting this 9th house, then moving into your 10th house. It's funny, sometimes the philosophical changes you make relate to how you want to imbue your work with a newfound creativity or some sort of spiritual touch. The sun transits into the sign of Scorpio this month on the 24th, and that is really, really adding weight to your sun sign with, as we mentioned earlier, the additional Mercury and Venus. Great communicators, these two. I think even though I started the month out for you saying you'd be pulling away from other people, I think there's some merit here in these two planets giving a strong lift to your relationships. You are still motivated by this internal drive. The moon and Mars there on the 26th, 27th bring you into a an even stronger connection to yourself. But the new moon there that we can see just on the 29th in your sun sign really says a lot about how you are projecting yourself at this time. And this really is time for a new makeover, perhaps, a bit of shock therapy. That's also shown by the opposition of Uranus here. Doing things that are going to really gain the attention of others, I think, is quite important. I forgot to mention the full moon there. If we go back a little bit, I'm going to do a little quick rewind here. That's going to take a while to get back to the opposition to the moon. I think it's there in the last degrees of Aries. That'll be in the 6th house sometime. It's usually around the middle of the month. I'm sorry to take you backwards in time here, but I think that's important in terms of your health and in terms of your working life, the activities that you are working on. It was just before that conjunction with Uranus there. There it is there. Just around the 14th and 15th in this 6th house. So you may need to work on some of your health issues around that date. Now, we've got more on the month if you'd care to join us at astrology.com.au, and that's just going to augment what I've said here today, because I tend to go through everything fairly quickly, and hopefully at least you can pick the eye out of what's important, go back a little bit, rewind here as I just did, and leave me a message if you want, if there's some specific technicality. I try to get through answering all of those. It's better if you have a personal reading with me. I welcome you doing that. And don't forget to subscribe. Look forward to your company again next month, Scorpio. Bye-bye now.